So chances are you've seen a smile where the teeth look straight, but something still feels off. And even when teeth are perfectly aligned, a smile can still appear crooked. And there's a very specific reason why, and I'd like to go over that today in this video. So stick around here. I'm very excited to share this with you. Dr. Rouse here, and welcome to the channel where we try to demystify dentistry using technology. And after I've done smile makeovers for over 15 years, we've seen patients that have come in and they actually have good looking teeth. They have straight teeth. They have teeth that they like the shade of, but it's something where they typically describe it as being slanted or crooked. And after finding out a little bit more about what they're trying to say, and there is a technical term for it, but it's basically the teeth look like they're either going up the staircase, or I'm sure if you've looked at enough friends, you'll see it looks like maybe it's going down a staircase. You're just looking at their front teeth and you're saying, oh, they don't look like they're quite at the right angle. Something just seems a bit off. And so with modern smile design software, we can help try to create a smile that has this key criteria solved from the beginning before we even start. So that you can have that Hollywood movie star confidence when you walk into a room and not feel like your smile is crooked. And so today I'm going to show you exactly how I do that with an example case of how you can make veneers look great. And so let's get into that now. All right, and so if there's one thing that you think about when you leave this video today, I'd like for you to think about something that I've said in a couple of the other ones, and that is that it's not about your teeth, it's actually how your teeth go in harmony with the rest of your face. So what exactly makes a smile look slanted? What is it that makes a smile look crooked? What is it that makes a smile look like it has that staircase effect? Usually has something to do with the way that the original teeth may have been designed well when just looking at the teeth only. But if it was looking at the entire face, it would be a completely different story. So let's look at a couple of the markers that we use from the outside of your face. And keep in mind, a lot of times when your teeth are sent somewhere else for being made or designed, it's only pictures of the teeth. It's only scans of the teeth. It's only, models of the teeth that are made and sent of just your mouth. And so no one really is able to take a look at your entire face. That is where I think a lot of the problems come in. So one of the biggest reasons a smile looks crooked is if some of these markers from the outside of the face, and one of those would be the midline. So the very middle of your face, which can be thrown off by a broken nose. It can be thrown off by several things what we do with teeth and with the mouth is try to look at the midline of your face and make sure that your the line of the teeth of where they are, the edges of the teeth are perpendicular to that line. So we look for the middle of the face, and then what we want is we want something completely perpendicular to that so that the edge of the teeth look flat. And then the second thing that we're going to look at is we're going to look at the corners of your mouth. And so if you smile as big as you possibly can, the chances are that you're not going to have a smile that looks like it's off side to side. Like an Elvis smile is what I tell patients. You're going to have something that looks like it's pretty flat across. And then the last marker that we use is in between the pupils of the eyes. So we can definitely look for something where your smile looks like it's going to be parallel with the pupils of your eyes. So those are a couple of really good markers that we get. Whenever we do the records appointments, we definitely get a lot of pictures, a lot of video footage to make sure that once you leave the office, we have plenty of material that we can reference to make sure that these teeth are going to come back and they're going to be flat across and they're not going to have that staircase appearance. So let's take a look at an example now. So the thing I'd like for you to think about when you finish this video is the word can't. Not like I can or I can't, but the can't of the teeth. So if you think about smile design, one of the technical terms would be that we don't want any of the teeth to have an angle to them. We all want them to be straight up and down as much as possible, right? So one of the things that's difficult about that is because actually the rest of our face is not built exactly symmetrically. Usually we have one eye that's a little higher than another, or one ear that's a little bit higher than another. And so when we're talking about the smile, what type of reference points do we use when we're looking at designing a smile? So again, and I will say this in probably every single video that I do about smile design, it's not about the teeth, it's about the face. It's about making sure that your teeth match up with your face. And so there's a couple of landmarks that we use when it comes to smile design, and one of those would be the pupils, so looking at the line of the pupils in the eye, and then another one would be the corners of the mouth, and then another one would definitely be the V-shaped notch in the middle of the lip. So we call that the midline. And so let's go over here an example illustration of what that is. All right, so if you look at these teeth on the left, and I will say that this is not the best case of an extremely sloped smile, but I think it gets the point across here is that when we are designing in the smile design software something that looks like it has flat teeth all the way across, really what we're doing is we're starting here in the design process by making sure that we use the grid line that we have. We can take advantage of that in the software, and it shows all these lines that you can line up the edges of the teeth along with them that you would not be able to do if you were just waxing, or the old way is using wax to make teeth. This is all done digitally now, so we can take the photo of the patient, put it on a grid, and then line up the grid digitally with the teeth to make sure that the edges of the teeth are all even all the way across. So it's a game changer in terms of being able to know what the smile is going to look like before and after. Again, if you see me toggle on and off, with the veneers, it's going to be in white. Without the veneers, it's going to be in gray. So take a look at that. And I think you can see that there's a big difference when you get a set of veneers that looks like it might be off and a set of veneers that lines up with that grid line. So huge difference here when you're using smile design software and sort of turning it more into a science. That part of it we can sort of turn into a science instead of being so much art. It's almost drop dead easy if you're using the grid. All right, and that is it. So if your teeth naturally have this, with that sloped appearance, veneers are an excellent way of just instantly correcting that and straightening out the smile all the way across. Again, that's one of those things where people come back after they get the temporaries and they're like, wow, I feel like a different person. It's mainly because, if you have a teeth on the bottom that are sliding side to side and wearing certain teeth down, this is a way to get all that corrected in the blink of an eye. I mean, it's literally like, with the temporaries, people are just blown away by how big of a change that can be. If you've had veneers in the past or crowns or anything, and they've been made that way, instantly we can correct that. Once those old crowns are removed and we put that on, not only does it make it look brighter, it makes it look straight across. It looks awesome. So that's why the planning part, though, and the reason for these videos is that the planning is so important when it comes to the finished case. So I've created a free ebook for veneers that will help go through all the information for smile designs, all the things you should look for in your smile design. I wouldn't trust it to just anyone. So if you're looking for somebody and you're in the Dallas area or you are willing to come to Texas, please let us know. Otherwise, like and subscribe these videos. We have an entire series of videos that we would love for you to join us and checking out all of the aspects of a great smile design. And until then, and as always, from me and the entire office, keep smiling.